Hey y'all, this is Jamie. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am going to be reviewing the NYX Ultimate Queen 16 Shadow Palette. But before we get into that, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Give this a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. And question of the day. What is your favorite drugstore or affordable brand? Let me know in the comments down below, and let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so we're going to do something a little new in this video. From now on, I will be answering my question of the day, but I will be answering it at the end of the video. So make sure you watch until the end to see what my answer is. Start making your guesses, guys. See if you can guess what my answer will be. I would love to know in the comments down below as well. And let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so today's video is all about the Ultimate Queen palette from NYX. This is a new product from them. They also have a 40 shadow jumbo palette. That is the Ultimate Queen palette. But this is the mini version, doesn't have as many shades, is not as pricey, so I decided to go ahead and get this one. We're going to talk about product details. I'm going to show you the application, how I created this look up here, and then we are going to talk about the pros and the cons of this palette, whether I would recommend it, and what my score for this palette is. So let's talk about product details. So this is our Ultimate Queen 16 Shadow Palette. That's what it looks like on the outside. It has a little jaguar down here with a crown. On the back, we have the shade Numbers, not names, Numbers. And then if we open it, it has like a really intense clasp. No, what is that called? It's super intense opening and closing it. So I definitely don't think this is the kind of palette that will like come open if you travel with it. We have a mix of shimmers and mattes. So we have 10 mattes and 6 shimmers. Here are the swatches for you guys. Now, these don't have shade names, so we have shade 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just kidding. These are all of the swatches. Now, all of these swatches I did go in twice using my little like eyeshadow swatch stencil. I got these on Etsy. I included them in my BTS palettes review as well. Super neat and handy. This product is $18. You can get it at Ulta. You can get it on the NYX website. I'm not quite sure that if they have it at Target yet. The outside packaging was actually designed by an artist named Kendra Dandy. So that's really cool. I think that's pretty much all of the details. $18, 16 shades, available at Ulta, available at NYX. Okay, so let's go ahead into the application. All right, so review time. Let's talk about pros and cons. Okay, so today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I usually start with the cons because I like to end on a good note, but I'm gonna be mentioning my pros in my cons, so we kind of gotta start with the pros. Pro number 1, these are wearable everyday shades in this palette. This is the kind of palette that you would get and you would probably use over and over and over again because these are very wearable shades that you can wear on an everyday basis. This is a very approachable palette and one that on an everyday basis you would look in your collection and probably grab a lot. Pro number 2, there is quite a bit of color payoff. So you might have noticed my like surprised look when I put that first matte shade on. I was a little surprised at how much came off of my brush all at once, but it was still blendable. I didn't have to build it up too much. I didn't have to use too much product, so this will also probably last for a little bit. I'm not going to use most of it on just one look. Pro number 3, this is something that I talk about so much, and I know I probably sound like a broken record with how much I say it, but pro number 3, the amount of mattes that are in here. I always say I would rather have a palette that is mostly mattes than mostly shimmers, because I feel like when you have a palette that's mostly mattes, there are a lot more directions that you can go with your look. It has 10 matte shades, it's got only 6 shimmers, but it still does have plenty of shimmers. Like, those 6 shimmers are also different enough that you can still create different looks with those shimmers as well. And last pro, it is nice, small, and portable. So the 40 shade palette, the jumbo palette, it's nice, it has a lot of shadows, but it's probably not very portable. You probably can't travel with it as easily as you can this nice, simple, small palette. Also, as I said before, the clasp is like super strong. The closing on this, super strong. So I don't think it's gonna come undone during your travels. So nice, portable, small palette. So moving on to cons. So con number 1 kind of has to do with the last pro that we just talked about. This has no mirror. So even though it is small, it is portable, it doesn't have a mirror. So when you're traveling, you would still probably need to bring another mirror of some sort, a little compact, whatever you have another palette, or if it's in your blush, something, you would need another mirror to go with this because there is no mirror. Con number 2 is the price of this one compared to the price of the jumbo palette. So I did a little math. The price per shadow is more for this little palette than it is for the jumbo palette. So the jumbo palette has 40 shades and is $35. So you're actually paying less than $1 per shadow on that palette. So I think you're paying about 87 cents per shadow for the jumbo palette. This palette, however, has 16 shades and is $18. So you're paying a little over $1 per shadow to get this one. I think it's like $1.12, $1.13 to get this palette. So you end up paying more per shadow for the smaller palette than you do for the larger palette. So if you are wanting the better deal, get the jumbo palette. If you're wanting the better deal, if you want a lot of shadows, it's a better deal and you're getting more bang for your buck with the larger jumbo palette. But if that's not what you're concerned with, if you don't need a 40 shadow palette, just get this one. And the last con for this palette is actually one that was a pro as well. It has everyday wearable shades. That could be a pro or it could be a con depending on the day, depending on the person. So it's a pro because, as I said before when I was talking about it as a pro, that means that you're probably gonna reach for it every day and you're probably gonna use this up. However, it can be a con because you might have 10 other palettes that have the exact same shades as this palette, so it might not actually be worth buying in the first place. All right, so as far as my score for this palette, I am gonna give this, I think I'm gonna give this 4 sunflowers out of 5, because while I think it is a good palette, it's not the best I've ever used. I still think that if you are really into wearable everyday palettes, that you would really like this one, but there's just something that's keeping me from giving it that fifth sunflower. So 4 out of 5 today. So question of the day today was, what is your favorite drugstore affordable brand? And mine would definitely have to be, let me see if you can guess it. Did you guys guess it? Probably, because I use this brand so much. But yes, it is Essence. Essence is my favorite drugstore affordable brand. I feel like I have liked pretty much everything that I've ever bought from them. They have such a low price point, but the quality is so much better than you would get from other brands that are in that price point. It's great. ColourPop is a close second. I do also really like ColourPop as well. Let me know if you guessed it. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Give this a big thumbs up if you liked it. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.